Hi guys, so today we're going to be making some cheese scones. Very basic recipe and not a lot of ingredients or equipment required. So I'm going to start off with some plain flour, and as always the ingredient list will be in the description box. So I'm just going to pop the plain flour in. I'm going to pop some salt in there, which was half a teaspoon, just normal table salt. And then we're going to go in with a bit of, I think it's a bit of a secret ingredient of ours. So it's Coleman's mustard powder. And I've seen a few people ask before where you get this from in the tin. And I just get it from Tesco in there. I think it's about £2 or something for the tin, which lasts forever. So that's the Coleman's mustard powder there. That's gone into our mix. And next I'm going to put some baking powder into the mix there. So we're going to add that in, and that'll help our scones rise. So there's 4 tablespoons I think went into there. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I've got some butter or margarine, which is at room temperature or softened if you like. So I've put that into the mix, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently rub. Obviously I've washed my hands, guys, off camera, but I'm going to gently rub the dry mixture into the margarine butter, and we're just going to put it in our hands and then just rub our hands together, and it sort of makes a breadcrumb kind of effect or consistency. So you can see there, that's all nicely mixed in, and all of the margarine is now no longer lumpy. So I've just got an egg, 1 beaten egg, so I've just popped that in. And the next thing I'm going to pop in is our cheese. Now this is a strong cheese, I think it's like a number 5, so it's extra mature cheddar and it's a strength of 5. You can add any cheese that you like to your taste. I like a strong cheese, so that's why I'm putting a strength 5 in, but you can use any that you like. So once our cheese mixture goes in, I have put in there 200 ml of milk. I'm not going to use all of that. Usually I use anywhere from 50 to 75 ml to combine it, and I do tend to eyeball the recipe and the mixture just to see how it's combining, and if it is too sticky, which you will see this recipe does end up being quite sticky, I just add a little bit more plain flour just so that it doesn't go as sticky. You will see as the video goes on. So these cheese scones, I know the more popular ones are fruit, but these are a savoury scone, and you can have them, they're absolutely gorgeous, warm with a little bit of butter on, served with a little bit of butter on. Or you can have them, like, instead of mince and dumplings, you can have them like a mince and then a cheese scone instead of a dumpling. They do kind of replace that. I don't know if that's a northern thing or what. So you can see there that I'm sort of almost kneading the mixture together now, and it is fairly sticky. It's sticking to the bottom of the bowl, it's sticking to my hands, sticking everywhere. So I'm going to add just a little bit of flour, and again I'm just going to mix it and knead it together so that it just comes a nice consistency that you can work with, because later on we are going to be rolling this out and cutting, so we do need a workable dough, if you like, or whatever you would call this mixture. So you can see there, just by adding a little bit of flour, it's just brought it together just perfectly. So it's no longer sticking to the sides of the tin, no longer sticking to my hands, and it's just really nice to work with. So I'm going to pop it onto a floured surface and I'm going to roll it out. So the way I roll it out is I'm kneading it a little bit more there, getting it all into a nice ball. But what I do when I roll it out, as you will see, I roll it out quite thin and then I fold it upon itself. And the reason for that is because when you cut the scone, when it's baked and it's cooked, instead of having a crumbling mess, it kind of cuts it nice in the middle where the fold is. you'll see when it'll all make sense. So there you go there. I've sort of flattened it out and rounded it off a little bit, and I'm just going to roll it out. So obviously the thicker that you have your scone, the taller it's going to rise, and obviously you'll get less scones the taller it is because you'll have less mixture. This here does about 9 scones, and they're a decent size. They're not too tall, but they're a decent size thickness wise. So you can see there that I've rolled it and I've just folded it upon itself, and I'm just going to flatten that down just ever so slightly. So once we cut our mixture, when the scone rises, you can see the thickness of it there as well, which is quite a good thickness of it. So once we cut it and that scone starts to rise, that middle bit there, it'll just make it easier to open up once it's baked. Now, a little trick to the scones is you can use any cutter that you want. You can use square, you can use round, any different size. Obviously, the bigger your cutter, the less scones you are going to get. But when you do push it down, if you notice, I don't twist. I just pull it straight back out. If you twist, it'll affect the rising of the scone and it won't rise properly. So just push it straight down and pull it straight back out. I've got a baking tray which has just got some greaseproof parchment paper on, and I'm just going to continue re-rolling and cutting as we go till all of my mixture has been used up. The last bit of the mixture, I'm just going to sort of make a scone as best I can with it, just shape it and bake it basically. So there you can see there, I'm just adding some milk onto the top of there, and that's just a little bit of the leftover milk that I didn't use when we were making the scone mixture. And I'm just topping off there with a little bit extra cheese. Again, personal preference, it's up to you. They go in the oven, gas mark 7, for about 20 minutes until they are golden, like this. And then once they come out the oven, I put them onto a baking tray to cool. You can have them warm, cold, however you like. Just enjoy.